Well, hello. It's been a little bit. I know lots of changes have been happening in the last 2 years, but I'll just get to the nitty gritty, and that is that I took 2 years off. I was in Texas for 1 year, and then I was in Washington for 1 year and had an apartment and everything. And I've decided to go back on the road. I'm moving into a Scamp, which I'm really excited about. If you've never seen a Scamp trailer, it's just called an egg. It's a fiberglass shell, and it's been around for many, many, many years. In fact, if you look at ones from like the 1990s, the outside really looks the same. Before I get into all of that, why don't I take you back to where it all first started? So while I was living in Texas, I decided that after I sold the van that I wanted to go ahead and buy something else. If you've been on my channel long enough, you know that I have been thinking about buying like an SUV or a truck and then be able to pull a trailer. So that was my ultimate goal. So I decided on the Scamp trailer. It's still very minimalist. It's only about 13 feet. I know it's tiny, but I'll get into all of that later in a Scamp tour on why I chose this. But I knew that I wanted to buy the trailer, so when I decided on the Scamp, I knew that even if I had a home base, that it was tiny enough that I could fit in a garage, I could fit in the driveway or store it if I needed to and be fine and just take it out on weekends. So back in February 2024, after I figured out all of the customizations for the Scamp, I had to go pick it up in the middle of winter in Minnesota at the Scamp headquarters. So that was fun. I was a little bit nervous because there's ice, there's snow. I mean, I didn't want to run into all of that. I had to make this very long journey up there to pick up the Scamp. I'm here to pick up my Scamp on the coldest day that they've had this winter, I think. It's -3 degrees with -15 wind chill factor. So I'm actually extended my stay at my hotel tonight because I didn't want to drive in this weather. And oh, there's my sales guy. So not only was I picking it up, they were going to show me everything about it.
It's your plug-in. This works when you're plugged in to shore power on the other side.
Okay.
Well, you have your 31 temporary registration until you get home and you get it registered in your own state. This is your 25-foot power cord. So you do have the 27 series battery, and you also have a solar panel, which your solar panel just gets plugged in right here.
So they showed me how to use everything in the Scamp, and they also showed me how to hook it up, because I've pulled a trailer before when I was moving from Texas to Ohio one time. They hooked everything up for me. I didn't do it. So I have towed before, but just not hooking up. So this was very new to me. And let's just say I was really, really nervous. Fast forward to December 2024. I'm now living in Washington State. I have an apartment that I've been renting. And I had all intentions of, living this stationary life again and, just making videos. And I know I've said it to you guys before that I just didn't feel creative, I guess, there. And maybe it was living in the apartment. Maybe it was being stationary. I'm not sure. I think if I still had my own land and a place that I built, there would be plenty of content for that. But I just didn't feel inspired. And I even put out a few videos kind of talking about that, transitions and life updates for someone my age and the things that we go through. And yeah, I only put out a couple of videos. Back in December 2024, I decided to take a trip to the Oregon coast and just do some sightseeing. And man, it just sparked that desire to be back out exploring again. Like, I just couldn't get rid of that itch. Here, pup cup. Well, I'm headed out to the Oregon coast. It's a little loud over there, that thing. This is Georgie trying to eat on her own. Look at her. Good girl, you're holding it yourself. We're doing a little day trip over there, and hopefully the king tides are still going and get to see the ocean for the first time in a long time. I've lived out here for a little while now, many more months than I should have to get out to the ocean, but we're finally getting there today. 1975, 1995. I'm driving to the ocean. I picked a wonderful day to do it. I mean, it said it was supposed to be 50 degrees, 52 degrees, and almost pretty much sunny, but I left early this morning to beat the traffic around the city. And yeah, it's 29 degrees outside and there's frost all over the place, but it's dry. We'll get there. We just got to get through this traffic, and it's really foggy this morning too, but it's kind of what it's like around the water. But I'm so excited to be going to the ocean. It's about time. You ready to go to the ocean, Georgie? You ready?
Cutting corners. Where do you go? Breaking borders. What do you know? Follow your heart. What do you say?
We're here. It's so beautiful. And I was just sitting there thinking that the last time I was here was in 2022. And that was the year that Lily passed away. And we literally sat right here at this same little tree limb, whatever you want to call this. There's Georgie. Now Georgie and I get to have this moment out here on the beach. I'm not sure if she's the beach dog like Lily was, but she's still getting used to everything. But she's very curious. During this trip to the Oregon coast, I just felt so inspired again to be out there. It just felt like I could breathe, especially being by the ocean. It's probably a constant thing you're going to hear me say is this ability to breathe. I felt stifled in an apartment. It's just not my thing. And the apartments were great and the people around there were great. It's just not me. It's just not who I am anymore. So another transition.
Know what you've got.
What do you think, baby? Do you like this again? I'm now thinking, about going back on the road. And of course, I question myself. Amber, what are you doing? Why are you thinking about this again? You've bought all of this stuff for your apartment, and now you want to go back out on the road. And I have the SUV and the trailer to do it, but full time again? I really grappled with that. So I kind of put it on the back burner a little bit and toured around Pacific Northwest just in my SUV, just sightseeing, hiking, things like that. And it was just amazing to, be back in nature again and really feel alive and feel like this is who I am. Does that make sense? This is amazing. Look at all the rocks and the wood just covered with moss. Here we have the Bonneville Dams and the Cascade Locks. It's the Columbia River. It's so lush and green with the moss all over everything. I guess part of me too, like the best way I can explain it is I missed waking up in nature. So like if I had my own land and a house on it, then that to me would be waking up in nature because my backyard would be nature. So I really missed that. And the only way I felt like I could get that right now is to go back on the road again. So I made the decision to go ahead and full-time travel again. And I didn't take it lightly. It just felt so right in my soul to get back out there and explore, but with a bit of a difference. In the van, I traveled a lot and fast. In the Scamp, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to travel very slowly and stay in places longer, which was always my goal too in the van towards the end, but didn't quite do that. It's a little bit different here in the Scamp because it's a little bit more homey, I guess, and I can unhook the SUV and take it out and explore that way. That allows for a lot of slow travel. So I'm really excited about that and can't wait to just really dive into what this next phase looks like. So I started to fix the Scamp up with some little things that would make it nicer. Bare bones, it's not bad. I just wanted to customize it to make it mine. So I decided to do this cute little backsplash on my kitchen wall. I found these cool little tiles on Etsy and started to put those up. And that was a bit of a process to cut around the round window, but I got that done and I just think it looks lovely. And I've done some other upgrades, like I added these curtains behind me that you can see and this cushion, which I'll show in the Scamp tour on what it originally looked like versus what it looks like now and all the little upgrades that I did. But I started to fix everything up just so I can make it really homey and not have to like move things around a lot before I travel, so that it's just not a lot of maintenance, I suppose, on the inside of the Scamp to get going if I needed to like move quickly or just in general. I don't want it to be like a long process for me to pack everything up before I leave. Then it was time to start packing, bought some boxes, and then it really hit me. It was real at this point to start packing, and I think I questioned myself one more time just to make sure that this is what I really wanted to do, because this time I was not going to sell everything like I did the very first time that I started traveling in 2017. So I ended up putting all my stuff in storage, hired movers to come out and do that for me, and everything is in storage. So my hope is that eventually I'm going to get that land and a house somewhere. So I'm still saving. My goal is to pay for it in cash. I don't want to get loans, especially with the interest rates these days. So I would rather just still stay as debt-free as possible. So I'm just saving at this point and looking all the time for something. Next, it was time for me to actually move into the Scamp, move all of my stuff in, and the first night I decided that I wanted to go to a state campground just to make it easy on myself and plug in, because with this setup, I really want to live off-grid as much as possible, but there's still a lot of work in progress things that need to happen in order to make that come to fruition. So I'll go into that in the next video, which, by the way, is going to be my first 48 hours of living off-grid in this 13-foot Scamp, and the video after that will be the Scamp tour. So I'll link all of those videos once they're up in this video in case you're watching this later. So that's my little life update of moving into this 13-foot Scamp trailer and another little transition that's happening in my life, which I'm excited about. I'm also excited that I'm going to be putting weekly videos out again on YouTube and being able to hang out with you guys in the comments. I've really missed you guys. I get so many messages saying, when are you going to come back? When's the next video? So I really appreciate you guys checking in to see how things are going. So also check me out on Instagram and TikTok. I'm going to really post a lot there. On Instagram, we'll have a lot of behind the scenes kind of posts and stories and reels, and probably TikTok as well. If you're interested in any of those socials, check me out there. I'll see you guys next week in the next video. Bye.